Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a simple Android application. So we will be making a simple calculator today. In this video, you will learn how to develop an Android application, how to create, compile and run the app using Android Studio IDE, transfer the app on a physical Android device and emulator. You will be getting familiar with Android Studio tools. For that, you will first have to download Android Studio. So search for Android Studio download and go to its official site developer.android.com. Click on it. So the latest version for now is 4.1. Click on the download button. Click on the checkbox and click on the download button. So as you can see, I have already downloaded it, so I won't be downloading it. If you want to know how to download and install Android Studio, I have made a separate video about it. You can check it out. So when we are done installing, start a new Android Studio project. So these are activities which basically mean that it is the screen the user will be interacting with. So it will be the UI. There are different activities. We will talk about them later in future videos. For now, select an empty activity. Click on Next. Give a name to your application. I'll be naming it Calculator. So here the package name should be unique and it is needed when we upload our app in Google Play. Now I'm leaving it as it is. The location is where our Android Studio projects are going to be stored in. Android Studio supports two languages, Kotlin and Java. We will be dealing with Java in this video. So the minimum SDK, System Development Kit, here Android API 16 is chosen. That means it will work in Jelly Bean and the versions that came after it. So as you can see, here it will work in 99.8% devices. So click on Finish. Now Android Studio is getting ready for us to make an app. It will take some time. So now Android Studio is ready for us to use. Let us get familiar with Android Studio now. So in app directory, there are three folders: Manifest, Java and Resource. In Manifest, it basically describes essential information about the app to Android build tools, the Android OS and the Google Play. In short, it is the summary of the app. You can see here a tag named Intent Filter. So intent filter is put in code of the activity which will be the first screen of the app. Now in Java folder, there is main activity.java. So all our backend coding will be done here. Here is Android test and test. We won't be worrying about that. In resources, there is drawable. All the images we are going to put in the app should be stored here first, then we can access it. In MIP map, the icon of the app is stored. This is the default icon that Android Studio provides. In values, there is color.xml file which is used to store colors for the resources. Android Studio contains three essential colors. Moreover, we can use our custom colors also. In strings.xml, all our hard-coded strings are going to be extracted here. We will learn how to do that later in this video. Style.xml, it is the theme of the app here. And now in the layout, there is activity main.xml. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. All our front-end designing will be done here. We can either drag and drop our components from the palette to the screen, or we can code the front end. We will be coding our front end in future videos. In this video, we will just drag and drop the components. Here we can see in component tree, there is constant layout. So it is by default and we will be using constraint layout now in this video. In another video I will be talking about layouts and what is the use of different layouts. So as we can see here, by default in the screen there is a component text view. First I will delete it. Right click on that component and delete it. In order to use images in the app, first we will have to copy it and paste it in drawable. I'll just copy my image. Copy it. Right click on drawable. And paste it. Select the location. Click OK. Then click OK. We have to copy image in both the version of drawable so that it is compatible in majority of the Android versions. Drag image view from the palette to the screen and choose the image. We can do changes from the attributes of the components. So I will change its height because it's so big. 200 dp seems fine. Yes, it is fine. Now drag text view from the palette. Text view is a view in which text will be shown to the user. I will need 3 text views. The first text view will show the text enter the first number. The second text view will show the text enter the second number. And the third one will be for the result. So I will need 4 buttons here. Drag button and drop it to the screen. The first one will be to add, the second one will be to subtract, the third one will be to multiply, and the fourth one will be to divide. So now I will need to edit text. So edit text is a view in which user will give input. I need 2 inputs, one for the first number, second for the second number. It is also known as plain text. So now in the component tree, we can see that there are some errors marked in red. So what does it says? It says the view is not constant. It only has design time position. So it will jump to 00 at runtime unless you add the constant. So what does this mean? This means that all the components are not tied to anywhere, so that when we will run this app, it will jump to 00 and it will not be in the same position as we see it here now. To avoid that, we have to constrain the views, which basically mean knotting them to sides or another views. I'll be knotting each view to the side so that it will remain in the same position. Just click on the view, click on the circle and drag it to the side. It should be done in all the 4 sides. And now when we place them, it won't jump from its position. I'll do the same thing with all the components. I will put margin of 1 dp in the button. So select all the buttons and search for margin in its attribute. So margin means that it will leave 1 dp space from all the 4 sides. But I still need to fix it, so I'll just fix it. So now we are good. Now we have to provide unique IDs to each view so that when we will do the backend coding, we will have a reference of them. So by default, there is the IDs are given by Android Studio. So the text view has ID of text view. I'm fine with it. I will change the text to enter the first number. For text view 2, the default ID is text view 2. I'm fine with it also. I will change the default text to enter the second number. In edit text, the default ID is very long, so I'll change it to something short. I'll write edit text. So here in edit text, user will be giving input, so I'll just remove whatever it's written here. In edit text 2, I will be giving ID edit text 2. I'll remove its text. The third text view has ID text view 3. As I said before, it is for result, so I'll just remove the text. I will change its height and width. Width will be match parent. And the height will be 100 dp. It's not looking good. Yes, 60 dp is fine. The default IDs of buttons are button, button 2, button 3, button 4. I'm fine with them. I will change the text. The first button is to add, so I will write add. The second button is to subtract, so I will write subtract. And third one, I will write multiply. And in fourth one, I'll write divide. So you can see that here are some errors in yellow. That mean that the app will run fine if you won't change it, but it is a good practice to remove the errors. So in image view, it says content description is missing. So in the attribute, search for content description and write the description of the image. I'll just write image. And now the error says that the texts are hard coded. So what we will have to do, we have to extract the hard coded strings to strings.xml. So here is strings.xml and we have to extract the hard coded strings here. For that, go to the code section of activity main.xml. Click on the error. Now here we see a yellow bulb. Click on it. Extract string resources. Now click OK. Now in strings.xml we can see the string that we extracted is here. Now do the same with other errors. You can just simply click Alt plus Enter and click Enter. All the strings are extracted here. So in the edit text, it's still showing some error. So the error is autofill hints is missing. So go to the code section. So inside the edit text tag, write autofill hints. If you write autofill hints, the suggestion will come and click enter. So in Android autofill hints is to tell Android autofill what type of context do we expect as input. I'll provide the extracted string of enter the first number as the context of edit text 1 as it take input of first number. So similarly with edit text 2, it is still showing error. So what we can just simply do is go to the code section. Go to the highlighted error part. Click on the yellow bulb and select the first option. So now all the errors are gone. I will change the background color of buttons. So select all the buttons and in attributes, search for background color. I'll put light blue as the background color. Yes, they are changed and it's looking good. So now all the front-end designing is done. Now we have to give this application a life by doing the backend coding. So go to main activity.java. Here the skeleton of the program is pre-written. We have to declare variables for our components. So we can name it as we want. So there are two edit texts. So I'll just name it as the ID of the edit text. So it will be easy for me. You can name it as you want. But remember they are case sensitive. So there were three text views. Text view 2, text view 3. There were 4 buttons. We will use these variables to get reference to the components of the activity. So for that we have to use the function find view by id. This function takes one parameter, which is the id of component. So edit text equals to find view by id r.id and the id of the component which we are referring. It is very case sensitive. I will do exact same thing for the other variables. Edit text2 was for edit text2. Text view was for the component of id text view. Button variable is to give reference to component of id button. Button 2 is to refer the component of id of button 2. Button 3 is to refer button 3. And button 4 is to refer button 4. We need not to refer to text view and text view 2 because these are just for design purpose and they are not going to be part of any action. So I'll just remove text view and text view 2 variable. Now, when the two inputs are given by the user and any button is clicked, the button should do some action. For that, we have to register the onClick listener to the button. For that, we call the method setOnClickListener, which is defined in button class, and it takes one parameter, which is onClickListener object. After writing view with capital V, it will suggest onClickListener method. When we'll press enter, onClickListener class overrides the onClickListener method. Now we have to declare variables for first input, second input and the result. Now we have to do the conversion to the edit text component. All the values are taken as strings. So to convert them in integer, we have to write integer.parseInt, the id of the component which we are referring, dot get text, we are taking input, and dot toString function. Same with the second variable. Integer.parseInt edit text2.getText function .toString function. Now result is equals to first plus second, as the component with id button will do addition. Now we have to set the result in text view component, and the id of the component text view was text view 3. For that we call the function set text function and then set the value in it. Now we have to do the exact same thing to the other buttons. So just copy it and paste it and change the name and the operation. So now button 1 was for subtraction, No, it was button 2. So button 2, result equals to first minus second. Button 3, and button 3 result is equals to first into second. Button 4, in button 4 it was first divided by second. So now all the coding is done, all the front end designing is done. Now the app is ready to be used. Now we can run an app in Android Studio by two methods. We can either use AVD, which is Android Virtual Device. Click here. Click on Open AVD Manager. It takes time. Click on Create Virtual Device. Now choose the device definition, category of your emulator, and the model. Click Next. Now download the Android version. I won't download it because it takes a lot of memory and time. So the easy method will be to connect your Android phone to your system through USB cable. I have connected my phone here. Now click on the green triangle. Now Android Studio is processing. You will be asked for permission to install the app in your phone. Give the permission. And now the app is installed. So here is my phone's screen. The app is running totally fine. If we click on add button, it adds. If we click on subtract, it subtracts. If we click on multiply, it multiplies. And if we click on divide, it divides. The result will be only shown in integer format because I have declared the variables as integers. Now to choose the icon of the app, right click on the app directory, click new, then click image asset. So now as you can see, the default icon is here. So we have to put the location of our desired icon in path. So the size of the icon is very big, so we can resize it. We can either make it big or we can make it small. We have to just scroll it. Now in my phone you can see the icon is changed. So if you found this video helpful, please consider liking it, sharing it and subscribing it.